Good evening, everybody, and I think you can see me. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. We haven't got an intro video because it didn't upload, so I'm just going to, after I go off, I'll try and get that and we can watch that at a bit into to the programme. I'm going to bring Vic on first.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Oh, all right, thanks. How are you? Lovely sunny
good.
evening. A lovely
It
sunny.
is.
Yes,
It is. How's the legs today?
Oh, they're all right. Yes, okay. Not bad for an old one, I suppose, but getting through.
As you all know, Vic completed the London Marathon yesterday, so well done on your achievement. It was really hot, so it was a good stroll round, was it? Or did you?
Oh, yeah, it was all right. Me and a few thousand mates, it was all right. The most important thing is, and I'm delighted to say I'm very close to reaching the target to raise money for Phoenix Enterprises, a Swindon-based charity. So that delights me more than anything. Very close indeed. So thank you very much indeed to everybody who's donated. I'm very, very happy with that. And all the money goes to Phoenix Enterprises. So thank you.
Excellent. Excellent. Just a couple of things before we start. I know we'll get some questions about the Fans Forum. This was due on Wednesday, this coming Wednesday. We've tried to get information from the club. We haven't been asked to release any tickets or anything like that, which should have gone on sort of offer 3 weeks ago. They haven't. So we're assuming that there is no Fans Forum on Wednesday. Hopefully the communication will come out from the club before Wednesday. But if you were planning on coming, please don't turn up on the evening. So we're sorry that it's come to this, that we haven't been able to say yay or nay. But yeah, we don't know. So we can't pass anything on to you, but we're assuming it's not. Okay, so that's that. So we have got two special guests on. We have got Richard and Lanes from the women's team who had, well, we won't say anything, you can tell you. Well, let's bring them on. So we've got Richard.
Hiya.
Evening.
There we go.
Evening.
Hi.
Evening. Hiya.
Hi. I'm going to leave you and I'll see you shortly.
Thanks, Chris, very much indeed. First and foremost, congratulations to you both. You look remarkably well, actually, after I'm guessing what a pretty late night. Lanes, can you tell us what time you finally got home last night?
It wasn't that bad. It was only 2, maybe 2-ish. Not too bad.
Not too bad. I know the manager left you at 12 o'clock, I think.
Yeah, he didn't stay out long.
I wish. Congratulations to you both. And you got your medals on, and quite rightly so. Can you just hold them up and let's have a look? Fabulous. Well done. Brilliant stuff. Richard, what an achievement.
Yeah, it is a great achievement. And I think we'll probably appreciate even more, as a little bit of time passes and get to really reflect on it. A combination for me of 3 years work, combination of Lanes of 10 years work at the club. So yeah, to achieve that, it's quite something. And it's I always feel like when you lose a game, Monday is this terrible feeling of like you just can't change it. And then to be in this situation of having achieved their goal and won the league and knowing that we'll be promoted and nobody can change it, it's a great feeling.
Yeah, decade Lanes at Swindon Town. I mean, what does that mean to you? What does this moment mean to you? I mean, well, the smile says it all, quite frankly, but what a moment.
Yeah, everything. I mean, I was so stressed all weekend. I think, obviously losing the 2 games and then having to come down to having to win. I think now, it was the perfect scenario. It was incredible. At the time, it was very stressful. But, I can't believe the day's over. It was just an incredible day. My best one at the club yet. It was just amazing. It went so quick. I felt like everything was just so quick. But no, it was incredible.
Apart from extra time, that wasn't so quick.
Apart from 8 minutes added on.
Yeah, I was going to say, how many minutes of extra time were there, Richard? I mean, I've got to tell you, whilst doing the marathon, my phone was buzzing all the time. It was coming through with updates, right, from your match. And I was thinking, how much longer is this thing going to go on for? How many minutes of extra time was there?
Yeah, so officially the referee gave 10 minutes of added time, but that ended up being 23 minutes of added time because there was a goal scored, there was a number of substitutes, and then there was a couple of injuries as well. So it just got stretched out and out and out. Just felt like they scored from a corner and then had a couple of corners. It was very painful.
I mean, the thing is, Lanes, you were 2-0 up, weren't you?
Mm-hmm.
And then they scored.
Yeah.
I mean, what was that like? What was those last minutes like?
Horrible. Honestly, I must have asked the ref about 10 times how long left. She was probably sick of me. I was like, how long? She's like, 3 minutes. How long? 2 minutes and 50 seconds. Like, I was just asking. I just wanted it to be over, I think. And I think that's where I felt like they were most threatening, was from their corners. So when it kept going out for the corners, it was very, very stressful. But, I mean, we dealt with it and we did it.
Absolutely, you did it. I mean, I'm just thinking, what was the support like for you, and what did that mean in those last few minutes for the team?
It was honestly incredible. There were so many people, like they split the fans up, and you could see how many Swindon fans there actually were. You could hear them literally from the first whistle. It helps. It rallies you on. It gets you going, kind of thing. But it was amazing. You could hear everyone the whole time, and it really helped you get it over the line.
The fans were amazing. The fans were fantastic. They were really vocal. They actually, when we came out to warm up, because obviously some had travelled down on coaches, got there early. They were there for us to come out and warm up, and the cheer that the girls got when they came out to warm up, I think it surprised everybody. It surprised me, and that just continued through the whole game. They were so partisan. It was I think with the style of game, the type of game where it was very transitional and very high intensity and very physical, I think they really did the girls on and give them energy and make them battle.
Yeah, Lanes, I mean, I think the one thing that shines through, when I've seen the women play, is the spirit amongst you all. I mean, is that what's got you through this? Because I think it's fair to say Mudderfields have been at the top all the way through the season, haven't they? And you've kind of pipped them at the post. But is it the team spirit that's got you through?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even yesterday, we were positive. We were together. That was it. It was, when you feel when teams are together, especially on like this side, you feel when teams are together. And we've come away losing to a team that was more together than us, that had got in our head, last season. So this season, we were like, right, we're going to be together and everybody's going to know it. And when you know a team is together and you can feel that, it puts the pressure on you and you think, oh gosh, like they're together, they have momentum, they're fired up. And I think that helps. We were so together yesterday, every pass, every tackle, we were supporting each other the whole way through it. And you could feel that even when the goal went in, it was, we've got this, we're still going to win. We're still winning. We're going to win. It's okay. And I think that helped us get through it.
I suppose, Richard, also, even if they make a mistake, they still support each other. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, it's something we've discussed, consciously, because of some lessons we've had in the past, and also just, we had a conversation the week before last where I started talking about mentality for this game, and I spoke to them about self-talk, and we had a discussion with the group where they talked about the things that they would say to themselves when things went wrong. And like most people, you're much harder on yourself than you are on each other. I actually found it quite upsetting all at once for all of the players to tell me the kind of things. I went and got them to do an exercise and come back and say all of the things that they say to themselves at moments when things don't go well. And not nice. And so the outlet of that conversation was like, you need to support you. Like, if this is what people are saying in their own heads, you can be the person that's giving them some positive self-talk, reminding them of the good things that they do and focusing on like the next action, etc. Because everybody's imperfect. Nobody, does everything right in a game. And I felt that in a high pressure game, us having the right mentality and supporting each other, because if you make some mistakes early on in the game, your head can spiral. You can completely, in such an important game, you can lose your game. But if your mates have got your back and are supporting you, it's much easier for you to get back on track. And I think the girls have really bought into that this year, and they understand the power of that, because they've experienced the opposite side of it. And then, we've, as Lane says, if other teams, well, the girls will speak on the pitch to their opponents, and they will, they'll have other players will say, "Oh, your team seems nice," or "Your team's positive." They know that obviously, the girls speak to each other well on the pitch.
Well, we're getting loads and loads of messages, and many congratulations messages, which we will pass on to you because there's loads of them. Another thing I wanted to touch on, Lanes, was it's not just the league, is it? I mean, you had a fantastic cup run, a memorable result in Solihull, if memory serves, when you were behind but came back to win that one.
Yes.
The experience of going to Charlton. I mean, it's been a wonderful season. I mean, you won the Wiltshire Cup last week. My goodness me, what a season it's been.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about it on the way back, like how well we've done this season. That we've won the league, obviously the County Cup last week, and then obviously the FA Cup, which feels like so long ago already. But we did that this season, and even getting to the quarterfinal of the League Cup, we did that as well. And it's like all these things we've done this season, we've done so well, and you kind of just forget about it because it happened, and then we've done so well, and we've been so together, and it has just been an incredible season. And I remember thinking it's our last session, we got this, but now you kind of think, it's over and the season's finished. So
what happens now, Richard? I mean, are they all going off on a boozy weekend? Oh, you are? Okay, fair enough.
We're going on holiday.
Yeah, so one of the things I think is very unusual about this group is, we speak about the togetherness, but early on in the season, independently, the group of girls are organised for a trip after the end of the season where pretty much all of them are going, I believe, to go to Malaga together for a few days, which I'm sure will be a mess. I'm glad I'm not going.
A bit messy.
But just the fact that they're prepared to do that, in like I say, in team sport, if you've got that, you've got a huge advantage over each other. People that if people want to be together, not just at the game but outside of the game as well, then that it's that team is authentic. So yeah, I think it's a fantastic thing that they've done, and it's brilliant that they'll be able to go knowing that they really earned that, and that they can go and celebrate it. They can take their medals, and and be a team.
Will it be like a hen night? You'll have those medals on all the time when you're.
And we have, will. I don't know if you saw, we had champions tops as well, so they're coming on as well.
Fabulous, brilliant. My thoughts, obviously, about next season. You're going up a level.
Yeah.
That means the teams that you'll be playing are of a higher level. Is it too early to think about that, or are you already planning for it?
I think one of the things I would say is that the League Cup and our pre-season showed that I've tried to build a tier 3 team in tier 4. That's how you win and get into tier 3. So you be what you want to be, which is a tier 3 team. So even like the team as it is can compete within that league. We've shown that because we beat Gwalia in the League Cup. We beat Cheltenham in the League Cup. We beat Oxford United in pre-season, albeit that was pre-season, but I think we were really up for that.
So win against them, that'll do. That counts.
Yeah, and so we've got players that have experience in tier 3 already within the group, and so and an awful lot of quality. So I think. I think even this team at the moment would compete and be able to compete in tier 3 as it stands. And if anything, I was actually talking to Lanes about this after the game. We were walking back to the coach and we were just talking a little bit. And I think obviously the level within this league is games against Moneyfield are right at the top end and very similar to tier 3 teams, whereas some of the other teams, they're going to just sit in and try and stop you from winning. And sometimes part of the battle is making sure that everybody's not complacent. And whereas in tier 3, every game is going to be of a Moneyfield style game. And I think it will make the players better.
Lanes, I mean, I've got to say, living in Devon, I'm delighted because you could play Exeter City and Plymouth. So
Yes.
I'm looking forward to those greatly. What's it like for you though? Because you are stepping up a level.
Mhm.
You're a footballer. You want to challenge yourself. It's a great thing to do, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's exciting. I mean, I've never played in Tier 3. When Swindon won the Tier 3 last time, I think I played one game because I was quite young. You know, it is a different level. But like Rich said, you know, we've played a few teams. We've given them a good game. You know, we're more than capable of being there. We've proved that. We've earned our place in Tier 3, and I think you know, the girls are incredible. We have a team that can compete in there, I think.
And your goalkeeper did all right, I think, yesterday.
Oh, she was incredible. She made some amazing saves. One in the first half. I thought it was in. Honestly, I don't know how she saved it, but she did amazing, and she saved us.
I mean, she's a goalkeeper that I took from Abingdon, and she's just played at a higher level than that previously, Hannah. But at the time when Hannah was at Abingdon, she was constantly their player of the match. For us, you know, she has just little moments at times because we can be quite dominant of possession. But yeah, it sort of reminded me on Sunday that, you know, Hannah is a goalkeeper that can really end up frustrating an opposing team by making you know, sort of saves that you think you've scored and all of a sudden you haven't, and that's always been part of her makeup. But she doesn't get to actually have to demonstrate it so often. But yeah, she was wonderful yesterday.
Mike Dixon, a great supporter of the women's team, he says we should already be able to compete with at least half the clubs in that division, which is well, positive straight away. Another one we had earlier, I'm gonna let me try and find it. It's way back, but we'll forward all these messages on to you, Richard, because there's loads of them and lovely. Anyway, it basically was, it's from Sean. To the women, I hope there'll be a victory parade at home on Saturday. Are there any plans at the game Saturday afternoon? Do we know?
I've not planned anything, to be honest. Today was very much a day of rest.
Yeah.
But I'd say there's hopefully a chance of that. Yeah, hopefully.
Well, yeah, if you could let somebody who does interviews on the pitch know that you might be doing something, that'd be great, and I'd be delighted to talk to you on the pitch, because you know, any trophy, whatever it is worth parading. And Lanes, that would be a great moment. It'll be a packed out county game on Saturday, wouldn't it, to take that thing around?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was planning to go watch anyway, so it'd be incredible. We can wear our medals. Honestly, I've bought it the whole time. I'm not taking it off since.
It's a good trophy as well, isn't it, Lanes?
Yeah, the trophy's lovely.
It's a nice one, yeah.
Fabulous. Well, look, fantastic. What can I say? A magnificent season in League and Cup. Go easy in Malaga, will you? I mean, you know.
No problem.
Richard, Richard, I don't know if there's a Manager of the Year award in your league, is there? But if there is, I'm sure you'll get it. I can't believe anybody else
All
would.
yours, Rich.
Yeah. So many congratulations. Thank you ever so much for joining us. Early night Lanes tonight.
Semi early.
Excellent. I know Chris was there yesterday as well. She had a fantastic time. There she is. You had a good time, Chris?
I had a wonderful time. It was I had a bit of a sore throat afterwards, but and a bit tense in those last however many minutes. But yeah, it was a fantastic experience for me, certainly. So whatever it was like for you, it was amazing. So well done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, you've done Swindon Town proud. That's all I can say. So many congratulations. Thank you very much for joining us. Hopefully we'll see you Saturday.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you for having us.
No, pleasure.
No
Absolute
problem.
pleasure. Thank you very much.
Take care. See you soon. See you later. Bye. Bye.
What a wonderful story, and what wonderful people. So there we are. Thank you very much indeed to Lanes and to Richard for joining us. If we can, Chris, I'm sure we can pass all those comments on to...
Yeah. There was a lot coming through on YouTube as well. So I'll collate all those and send them through to Richard or Tim, and they can pass them on to the girls. So fantastic. Brilliant. Okay, so should we get the panel on?
Yes, let's do that. There's another side to the story which we have to discuss, I'm afraid. Yes.
We got Phil.
Hi, Nick.
Hi.
We got Gus.
Hi, everybody.
We got Rob.
Hey, hello.
Okay.
Hello.
So
Good evening.
I'll see you later.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. Thanks, Chris. She's gone. Nick, I just wanted to start. Over the weekend, we had the very sad news of the passing of Terry Woolen, who was, along with John Trollope, the youngest pair of fullbacks to ever play in the Football League. Unfortunately, he had his career ended by a badly broken leg, but you knew Terry very well. You've got your mute on, by the way.
Yeah, sorry
go.
about that. Yeah, I've known Terry for since the early 90s. I most of my career, as you know, I've been in coaching abroad and and a lot of it started with Terry. I've got the three main people in my career that really helped me was Lee Barnard, as you know, I've brought him on, Terry Woolen and John Trollope. They're the three. Terry got me. I worked at the community with Lee. Lee promoted me to John, and then I worked with Terry at the School of Excellence for many years. And what a guy, what a coach. That's the amazing thing. When I was with Terry, we had the youngsters, like the under 8s and under 9s. He never raised his voice. I just can't believe it that you just all listened to him. They never, ever played up. The guy was incredible. And his ball skills back then, he was so good with them. I just couldn't believe it. And I got to a stage, I always said that I was lucky. I had 2 years at the start with Terry, and I'd write notes down. I said I had like an apprenticeship. I was so lucky. And I remember Terry then got a different job and he worked shifts, and I'll go and see him and he'd write the lesson plan. Then all of a sudden he goes, "You've been with me long enough. What? You run it. You just take it." And I was, what do you mean? I've never done it. He goes, "Nick, you've done it long enough. Just do it." And he was just so good. And I said the best team talk ever had in a game, Terry Woolen. We went to play Swansea. It poured down it should never have been on. So we're in the changing rooms and he goes to the team, "Look, guys, it's with the weather, it's going to be boggy. Just play it out, get it out wide. We know down the middle is going to be." We walk out, the whole field's underwater. He goes, "Boys, back in. Forget what I just said. Just kick the ball as hard as you can and run after it." He said, "It's so funny." He was I was so sad. I only spoke to him about 2 or 3 weeks ago because I already had a stroke and he didn't want to see people. I rang him up and he goes, "I'm not ready yet, Nick." I goes, "Okay." Then I just couldn't believe it when I was told. Just such a sad, everyone, you could speak to 1 million people, not one of them would give you a bad word about Terry. He was all the pairs he coached and all that, such a lovely guy. Such a sad day.
Yeah, for many years ran the off license, of course, in Gorse Hill as well, didn't he? And yeah, I met him on many occasions, and what a wonderfully warm person he always was. He was always willing to split your beak, and you look back and it's one of those great pairings, isn't it? John Trollope and Terry Woolen. If his career hadn't been ended by a broken leg, I mean, where would he have played? I mean, how long would he have played? Do you think?
He'd have played for Europe. Him and John would have dominated, wouldn't they? The fullbacks, the Swindon. Without a doubt, he was such a good player. They said, I don't,
Well, we send our commiserations to his family, of course. Terry Woolen, who's passed away over the weekend. R.I.P. Right, let's move on to Saturday. Okay, Gus, hello to you. Very good evening to you, or afternoon, I should say.
Thank you. Yes, afternoon here.
Hi, Rob.
Hi, Vic.
Hi, Rob. Mark, hello to you.
Good evening, Vic. How are you doing?
Good evening. I'm all right. And Phil, hello to you. Hiya.
Evening, Vic.
Now I'm getting a bit of a delay, so I'll wait for you to answer your questions. That's fine. Now I know 2 or 3 of you made that trip on Saturday. Rob, take us through the day and take us through what you witnessed.
I think the pause that you get at the start of every answer, Vic, probably ably demonstrates how we all felt for most of that 90 minutes, if I'm truly honest. It was staggeringly poor. I could come up with any expletive you want to come up with, and it wouldn't describe that first half performance. It was an absolute shambles. It was players who we've seen put in performances the like of which have been up there with the very best at the start of this season, demonstrating that mentality and confidence is a fragile thing in football because they've clearly lost both and they really, really struggled. That performance wasn't good enough to have got a result 3 or 4 tiers down. We've listened to all the wonderful thing that has just been said by the women, and congratulations to all of them because it's a fantastic achievement. But everything that was good about that women's performance yesterday was everything that was bad about the Swindon performance on Saturday. It really, really was soul destroying, and it was a 5:15 start on the coaches. It was an 8 o'clock get back home from Grimsby. That coach on the way back was the quietest coach I've heard in a long, long time. People just couldn't quite believe what they'd witnessed.
Gus, I was doing what you were doing, and I was watching it on a screen. First time in 4.5 years I watched it on a screen, which is, I was going to be disappointed about not going, but I'm rather glad I didn't now. What was your impression?
It was very hard to watch, I would say. My impression was that the first 2 goals were not that bad. Bad decision to tackle in the box, but it happens sometimes. It happened to happen early in the game, so of course they scored on that. That second goal from the free kick where they headed it in, it was a fluke bit of good luck on their part. But those 2 fluke goals masked some pretty poor play, obviously. We played the worst when we needed to play the best. The ball is completely in our court. It's up to us to make it into the playoffs. We've scored 2 goals in the last 3 games. And I think we scored 11 goals in the last 10 games. Just, we're not scoring goals. And if you don't score goals, you're not going to win. Our defense hasn't been awful, despite the fact that we just lost by 4 goals. All that said, I'm a fan of all the sports teams that I cover, that I follow, which is I think only 2 others, because I want to have fun. I want to watch games and I want to be in it. All that thing I've just said, and all the negative things you can say, Swindon Town is going to be playing for something that matters in the last game. This last game is a big game, and I'm sure we're going to get to that, so I don't want to jump the gun. But as a fan, I can't be completely disgusted knowing that we are playing to get into the playoffs, and we're still in on the last weekend of the season. In the U.S., if you're still playing for something the last weekend of the season, you're doing pretty well. So I'll stop there. I don't mean to say it's good, but I still have hope.
Right. We will get to that next game a little later, because it is a huge game for Swindon this weekend, and indeed for Chesterfield, of course. Mark, what were your impressions on Saturday? I mean, I'll go through some of the stats. I'll throw this one at you. Possession. Grimsby, 38.6%. Swindon, 61.4%. That's a massive difference. They got 4 goals. Swindon didn't.
We had a lot of the ball. We definitely had a lot of the ball. I can't really add more than what Rob's already said. I mean, it was getting up at the crack of Sparrow Fart to get the coach from the county ground, and a 400-mile round trip to watch what I quite possibly was the worst performance I've seen for many years. It was dreadful, and the coach back was. I think we were shell shocked. I just couldn't believe even the relegation of our dear neighbours up the road. Couldn't really sort of take the shine off what was a rubbish performance. It was awful. Can't really add more than that.
Nick, as a coach, what would you say about it? I mean, it seemed to me we did an enormous amount of passing into touch. It just seemed to me that every pass we tried to play out wide went across the line. It was just, a bit shambolic, to be honest.
Yeah, and that's what I found bad about is the coaching staff just sat there on the bench. As a coach, you'd be up screaming at your team, trying to do something, and they just seemed comfortable this week, just sitting there. I just couldn't believe it. Like you're saying, the first goal, or it happens, but the guy's going nowhere. So why you would risk by diving in and trying to slide tackle in your own penalty area is, and then, and to me, I don't get. He's playing him right back. The other week, when it at Cambridge, I was there at the Cambridge game. He got absolutely torn apart as a right back, and you got the local, what's his name, McGregor on the bench who could play right back. So I don't understand I know he's on about his experienced players, but they're not good enough in that position. Put a player who's done okay in that. I just don't get it. I just didn't get that at all. When I saw the lineup, I thought this isn't looking good. He's trying to put his experience, but then they're slow. They're not quick. So you knew it wasn't going to be the quickest of games from us because they were slow. So I was a bit baffled with that, his starting lineup from that. And then when you see, and you're going down and you're only seeing the goalie moaning at the team, no one else took charge. Sometimes you want someone to give you a kick up the backside, but no one done it. They seemed content with, all right, we're playing crap. We just go through the motions. It was so hard to watch, that was. And you do feel sorry for you guys who went there.
Yeah, Phil, you're one of them who went there. I mean, Holloway afterwards later said about the lack of leaders and the lack of talking from, his senior players to the junior players to have a go at them, etc., etc. What, in your view, is the problem at the minute?
Team selection. As soon as the team sheet came out, you knew we were playing with 9 players. And when you made 4 changes at half time, if that team had started, we would have given them a fight. But to have a team where you had 2 passengers, you didn't have a hope. And also playing players out of position at right back was a ludicrous decision. And, to me, I think the team knew they were beaten before they started with the team that went out.
Well, we're getting comments, as you would imagine. So I'll try and get through some of them. Have the tactics changed from when we were playing well before Christmas? Thanks, Peter. Jamie says, reckon they've all been told to cut off socials this week and cut out external noises, I guess. Hi, Nick. How reliant are we on Kilkenny? We have a much better injured 11 than our current first team. Sean says, I thought the first 5 minutes, we're looking okay here. Didn't last, as we all know. And hi, Dan. It makes you wonder how this team can't get up for such a big game. Grimsby's performance was everything that ours wasn't. I wonder if there's a rift between Holloway and the players. Well, that, of course, we don't know. Gus, I mean, from your experience in American sport, getting up for big games, I mean, my goodness. If as a player you can't get up for that, then I don't know what you're doing, really.
Yeah, it was tough. I mean, it hasn't just been this game. It's really been the last 3 games that we have come out pretty flat, maybe even more before that. My memory's not that great. We didn't look strong. One thing that you mentioned, comparing to the U.S., if a U.S. coach was interviewed after the game, and I am not here to question the coach's decisions on the field, but he said several times, it's on me. But then he said this team doesn't look anything like the team that I see at practice. This isn't a team that's been practicing, which to me is saying I'm doing everything I can as the coach and getting them ready. But then when they go out there, they're not doing their jobs. Everyone would be calling you out if you were a U.S. coach and you said that. It looked like the coach is deflecting attention away when the coach is supposed to be the person who absorbs the problems. So I think we have a good coach, and I don't think we're going to get a better coach anytime soon, but I think he needs to be careful. He's been trying, it seems to me, to be very upbeat in all of his interviews. Come on, we can do it kind of thing, which is not where he was before. He used to say, we have nothing to celebrate yet. When we were in second place, we have nothing to celebrate. Nothing's happened yet. I see a change. He's trying to be optimistic, but he can't quite get there. So that's maybe not a direct answer to your question, but it's something from an American perspective, saying that they're not doing their job on the field. You just need to be a little careful with that. And maybe be proposing solutions instead of just telling them they're not doing their jobs.
Mark says, good evening all. Let's be honest, the last 3 games have been shocking non-league standard football. Difficult to know where it's all gone wrong since January. We do, however, have a final chance to extend the season. and must pull out all the stops to make the playoffs. Anything other than players giving absolutely 100% is simply unacceptable. This includes Holloway, who just seems bafflingly quiet, almost uninterested. Much of our decline must be down to him. Pick players who can run and fight and fill round holes with round pegs. So to those stats, Rob, these aren't going to make any difference at all. Grimsby had 16 shots. Swindon had 11. On target, Grimsby had 6, 4 of which went in the net. Swindon had 2. Touches inside the opposition box, Grimsby 24, Swindon 15. Saves, Grimsby 2, Swindon 2. But the passing is interesting. Grimsby 250, Swindon 408, Rob. I mean, passing a ball around is no good at all unless you do something with it, is it?
Well, to be honest, it didn't feel like that, Vic. If I'm truly honest, it felt like we were under constant siege and bombardment, certainly for the first 45 minutes. Never felt like we got out of our half. Certainly never felt like the possession stats would have been in our favour, because there was only one threat on the pitch, and that was coming from Grimsby. There was absolutely no threat at all coming from Swindon. It was a marginal improvement second half. The substitutions did make a difference in terms of being able to improve the performance, but the game's lost, isn't it? And let's be quite frank, Grimsby were on the beach for the last 20 minutes because they didn't need to do anything else. So you've got to take it relatively against the second half showing against what Grimsby had to achieve at that point in time, which of course they'd already won the game. So why bust a gut when you've got important playoff games to go? Mm-hmm. I wish we were in their position. It's got to be said. It's been a frightening transition, if I'm truly honest. And I'm sure we will do an extremely long debrief when this season is over. Let's hope it's not over on Saturday. We hope and pray we get a result, but I can't say there'll be an awful lot of confident supporters out there at the moment who thinks that that's likely to happen, because Mark just pointed out perfectly on that message. The standard of football that we're witnessing at the moment, it's not only not good enough to get a result at this level, it's probably not good enough to get a result in any level, to be quite honest. It really is a woeful decline. And the players' ability to not talk to each other and sort it out on the pitch, irrespective of how good or how bad the manager's decisions have been to pick them in the first place, is staggering me. It really is. You just expect experienced professionals, of which there are 4 or 5 very experienced players on that pitch, to grab the rest of the teammates when things aren't going right and sort it out. And if they don't sort it out on the pitch, you expect to see a massive reaction in the changing room. And what we've seen and witnessed over the last 3 weeks just simply isn't good enough for a team at this level who should be going out there and really grasping the nettle, because they've got a big opportunity. We've said it all through the season. This opportunity doesn't come around every season. And for us to throw it away in the way that we are is soul destroying at this moment in time.
Well, Tony says they were so quiet, not talking to each other. Play some of the youngsters on, Holman and Drynan up front. Fast football, no hoofball. Lots of this coming in. Sean says, just started viewing stream. Do I know that yesterday's marathon, he is a Guinness World Record holder? Yes, I do. Thanks very much. Not the oldest ever runner, not quite, but one of the biggest ever field of the marathon. So thank you. I did know that. And the bloke who won it, 1 hour, 59 minutes and 30 seconds. That's bonkers, isn't it? Let's have a look at the league table. MK Dons, top of the table, already promoted, 85 points from 45 games, 41 goal difference. I suspect they'll be crowned champions on Saturday. Bromley in second place, down 1, 84 from 45, 23 goal difference. Then come Cambridge, 81 from 45, 33 goal difference. The bare fact is, no, we can no longer get automatic promotion. The playoffs like this. Salford in fourth place, 80 points from 45 games, 10 goal difference. Then come Notts County, 79 from 45, 22 goal difference. Grimsby in the playoffs, 77 from 45, 24 goal difference. Chesterfield, 76 from 45, 14 goal difference. Swindon in 8th, 75 from 45, 12 goal difference. And then Barnet, 73 from 45 with 16. Mark, huge game on Saturday. I mean, looking at that table, there's only one place available. who's going to get it, Swindon or Chesterfield, on what you've seen recently?
So I'm gonna say our season's going to come down to this 90 minutes. It's a cup final Saturday. What's gone before doesn't matter. It's the next 90 minutes, and we've got a real opportunity here to turn things around and get across the line. What I'd like the players, when they walk out of that dressing room on Saturday, above their heads there's a sign that says "Believe," and they just need to change their mindset. You know, what if we win? What if we do what's asked of them on Saturday and actually get into the playoffs? I want to believe that as a fan. I really hope that we can do it. And you know, what's gone before doesn't matter. It's the next 90 minutes that count.
I think that's a very good point, Nick, isn't it? All right, Saturday was terrible. We can draw a line under that, but you've got 90 minutes now to go out there and prove that this football club you really care about. And, you know, if you get off to a good start, the fans are with you. If you don't, hopefully they'll stay with you and try to get you over the line. What would you be saying as a coach?
Well, yeah, you'll be saying as bad, you know, really as bad as we've been, we're still in with a shower. You know, we're still there. Win Saturday and we're in the playoffs. So it's still in our own hands. We're not worried about results elsewhere or this, that, or the other. It's up to us. You know, it'd been nice to have got automatics, but we haven't got that. But we're still in with a shout for the playoffs. So it's all into our hands. And you've got to try and make them believe. And try, you know, what would you do? It's awkward because some people say, oh, change training up. And then some other people say, no, keep it the same. You're thinking, what, as a coach, when you're in that situation, you're looking at different ways and what has made it go wrong. Is it me? Is it they're not believing in what I'm saying? If that's the case, and at the end of the season, he needs to go. He's lost his players. And that, a couple of the interviews he done Saturday, it actually did, I did think that it was like a defeatist talk and throwing the players under the bus, which he's tried to always protect, but he didn't sort of seem to do that Saturday. But for me, he's just got to get him believing, because it's, no matter what's happened, that's gone. We can't do nothing about that now. Yes, Saturday was the worst game of the season, without a doubt. But we've got this Saturday to put that all right and make the fans believe again. And he's lucky because the Swindon fans have been great to him this year. They've followed home and away. He's had great followings with the team. You know, you start off strong and go at teams rather than, like, I see some commenting here, wait to the 60th minute to make the subs. If you go at them from the start, the fans will be behind you. And I could see there being a big crowd Saturday because of what it means. I think there'll be a good crowd there Saturday. I hope there will be. I know we haven't been playing great, but the fans still seem to get there, and it is such a big game. I think we get a good crowd.
Well, we know Chesterfield are going to bring, I think, 1,000, probably. It's a big game.
They've got the Stroud Bank in it. They've got the Stroud Bank.
Yeah, they got the bank. Yeah. Hi, Max. Holloway letting Ripley go up to the away end to face up with the rest of the team while he sulks off down the tunnel immediately. Hi, Danny. I think it's pretty clear we are and have been missing key players. This has disrupted a regular starting 11 and a need to constantly change and manage minutes. This has led to a big confidence dip and consistently poor performances. He said we have too many young and old players who tend to get injuries. That doesn't provide an excuse for the apparent lack of effort, though. I think that's the thing, though, Phil, isn't it? I think fans will, you know, like we were saying to Richard Wood earlier, if you make a mistake, you make a mistake. You know, that's part of the game, but it's the effort you want to see from your players.
Yeah. Fans will always forgive a lack of skill if the effort's put in. And if the effort is not there, they just think we've paid our money. Saturday, we made the long trek. We made the effort. Did every player come off thinking he's given 110%? Yeah, and that's the question you have to ask. You know, when I always look at the warm-up before the game. That often tells you about the attitude. It was dreadful on Saturday. It seemed lackadaisical. I could see the Grimsby players taking it very seriously at their end. Ours were just going through the motions. And so, you know, as a manager, I would watch the warm-up. So that when they came back in the dressing room, you knew what you had to deal with to get them going. If they weren't, you know, really hyped up and ready to go. And our biggest weakness so often is our slow start to games. And Saturday, we had no pace up front. Why Olagipi wasn't on to start with, because if he gives us something different. He gives us a pace. He can a bit of trickery. Yes, he does a few wrong things, but there's when he came on Saturday, there was a bit of life and spark, but we didn't have that. Hoylett just was disappearing, and another player who I won't mention, I didn't even notice he was on the pitch, but they told me he was. So it was just this lack of vitality. And if you can't get up for Saturday, then you don't deserve to be in professional football. It's their living, their future.
Yeah, interesting. I think that's the point, isn't it, Gus? John says, do we actually want the playoffs? Sorry to be negative, but just feel like it would just be heartbreak if we make the playoffs. The reality is our last 5 games have all been must-win, and we've crumbled in all of them. Brian says, Chesterfield draw a lot of games. I think they'll draw another on Saturday, and we will miss out. Yes, that's true. I had to quickly look at the table. I don't know why I did that. Getting rid of Holloway will only achieve so much if the likes of Gav Gunning remain. We're still in it to win, then playoffs on the road to Salford, then put it right. I mean, Saturday has to be 100%, Gus, doesn't it? Right from the start. I mean, I'd say if you concede early, well, okay, you concede, but let's keep it going. Let's keep going on the front foot.
Yeah, I wonder, first of all, Nick is obviously a very good coach, because I think the kind of talk that he was just proposing in the locker room is a great idea. I also think that if you're going to, if what we're doing right now is not working, obviously, the coach has a dilemma to me right in front of him, because he can either play the same team and say, look, this is my best team. This is who I think is the best chance to win. Or you could start, people that you don't normally start, like Ola Kigbe and Holman, and put Mbete back in, who I think is one of their best defenders, and can actually score goals as well. There are folks that could probably be in a starting lineup that never are. I also have heard a number of times from the coach during the year that so-and-so isn't cutting it in practice, or they're not practicing harder. They're not doing what we want them to do, kind of thing. And I wonder sometimes if on the field, people are almost not a little bit afraid that he told me to do this thing and I'm going to do it, but that's not what's going to win. Like, is he not giving our players enough leeway? I know some of them are very young, but to go out and do things that they think need to be done. Is there one way of doing things which isn't working all the time? And our players are kind of like, I don't want to, if I want to keep playing, and that's the only way I'm going to get in the game is if I do exactly what the coach wants. So I'm going to do it, even though I don't think it's the thing that's going to win the game for us. I just wonder if the players are loose enough and have enough autonomy when the time comes to do what needs to be done. Maybe it's the exact opposite, but I wonder sometimes if they're afraid they're not going to, if they don't do exactly what they're told to do in practice, they're not going to play.
I mean, do you believe that the pressure's got to them, Gus? I mean, it seems ridiculous, really. You're talking about experienced players. Some of them have promotions under their belts. It's not as if some of these players have never been through this before.
Well, I don't. Then that's why I'm trying to propose a different reason. That they aren't playing. Like Hoylett is an extremely experienced player. He does make some very good passes. It didn't happen on Saturday, but I don't think Hoylett's a bad player at all. I feel like maybe he should be set loose. I mean, I'm a track coach. I coach track and field, and every once in a while in a meet, a pole vaulter is going for the last height they've never cleared before, or maybe a height that they always clear, and they've missed. And sometimes instead of telling them technical things to do, I say, look, you're a great athlete. Wipe your brain clean and go and make this jump. Just do it. Use your athleticism, use your skills and ability, and just make it. And, sometimes they do and sometimes they don't. But sometimes you just got to kind of sit back with a Zen moment and let the players do their thing and stop trying to manage everything. Again, it might be the opposite. Maybe he's not managing, and that's the problem. But I worry that maybe he's a little too controlling of some of the players.
No, interesting view. This is from John Stevens. Hi, John. Always like to have his strange interjection. I just got back from an enjoyable but ultimately unsuccessful day at Bath races, so I've come on to this late. So only 2 quick points. Nick appears to be broadcasting from a venue in hell. It's very, which is very good. I mean, it's a great background, Nick. Not taking anything away from you, but there's a lot of flames going on. And I'm wondering if Vic is still in his running gear, as I'm sure he seized up after his run yesterday. As an aside, I still believe in this club, but I am notoriously stupid. Thank you, John, for, as ever, brightening up a Monday evening when we're struggling a little bit to get any confidence ahead of Saturday. Rob, are we struggling a little bit?
You surprised me, Vic. Look, I think that most people have said this so far. We can be as glum as we like about Saturday, and we've got every reason to be. But the bottom line is we've come down to a 1-game season, and even though we all know what's happened in the 45 games that precede it, gives us the level of not lack of optimism rather than optimism at this moment in time. But we've got to wash all that aside, and we've got to come out completely different on Saturday. Every single one who's going to be in that ground has to play their part, and every single player on the pitch has to completely change their attitude and give as much effort and their ability will allow them to give. I don't believe in all this 110% malarkey, because that's just rubbish. You can only give 100%. But we need to see blood on the field on Saturday. It's as simple as that. We need to see that they have made every possible effort, those 11 players, to give all of us supporters what we really, really want. If we come up short, we come up short. But I think Phil mentioned it earlier on. All that fans will ever ask of a team is that you come out of the game at the end of it and think they've given their all. And you know, if they've come out the wrong side of the result, that's just the way football goes. It happens. You don't win every game. But when you see a lack of spirit and a lack of fight, a lack of togetherness, a lack of everything that the Swindon women obviously had yesterday, that's when it grinds on you, and it really grates when you know that you could have done something a hell of a lot better than what you've just witnessed. And that was a feeling that we all came out of Grimsby with. We've got to dust ourselves down, got to take all of that negativity and wash it away, and just go for it. Let loose those shackles. As Gus said a few minutes ago, if there's something holding them back, find out what it is during this week, forget about it, and just go for it Saturday. And let's have one of those 5-4, 6-5 ding-dongs, if that's what it's got to be. Go for it. I'd far rather have that than pussyfoot around in a 0-0 draw for 60 minutes and wonder if we're ever going to get a shot on target, which is what it's felt like for the last few weeks. Just go for it. Unleash everybody. And if it means 5 up top and 5 at the back and nobody in midfield, so we've got no midfielders left, so be it. Let's just go for it.
No, it'd be fantastic. Hi, Mark. The main question on my lips is why things have been so poor. Injuries to key players has clearly been a significant factor. Holloway's selection of tactics baffling at times. He keeps talking about being a manager for 1,000 games, so start proving it. Pick players in their correct positions. McGregor at right back, Clark if fit in midfield, Holman up top. Hello, Carl. He's constantly dodged why he hasn't given Mabete a good chance. He should be trusting those young players, not making them wait until they're the only ones left. Palmer, a big name signing, but head and heart is still at Wrexham. We crumbled after the 2 engines we had were recalled, injured. Glatzel and Monroe didn't have anything that drives it like they do. Mark, what's your feeling about Saturday? I think everybody agrees the 45 games that we've witnessed have gone. Forget all that. It's a 1-game shootout.
Going to be a packed ground Saturday. I think 13,000 possibly. Chesterfield have sold their initial allocation, so the atmosphere is going to be boiling on Saturday. It's going to be great. I just think there's no better place to be on a Saturday afternoon, 3:00, with your football family. People who are drawn from all walks of life, people I would never usually associate with, but we're brought together behind one team. Just want everyone to get behind the team on Saturday, do our bit, and let's hope the players turn up and do their bit as well. They've got to believe they can win, and it all comes down to these last 90 minutes. And, we've got every chance.
Nick, if you're the coach, what are your final words as you go out on Saturday? It's another, what we should, of course, say is that we'll have the roll of honour read out before the game kicks off, which is the fans that have passed away in the last 12 months. So that will be read as per on Saturday. That always is a very emotional moment. And then you would hope it's an emotional 90 minutes, wouldn't you?
Yeah. You just go and tell them, we're still in this. We're still up to us. Go and show these fans what we haven't showed them. Let's show them we are, what we were in the first half of the season. We were that good a team. So at the start of the season, I honestly thought we were going to run away with the league. I thought we were definitely going up automatic, not trying to scrape through in the playoffs. Just tell them how good you are. You are good enough. You lot, after a few of you got promotion, you know what it's like. You're good enough to win this game comfortably. Now let's go out and show this team, especially after last weekend. We need to show these fans that was a real bad performance, and we're going to put it right today. And let's go at them from the start. Let's really attack. First ball, I want it going forward. Very red, I want that ball coming back. Forget this tippy-tappy around the back four. Let's just get it forward. Our first option is if it goes forward, it goes forward. We get it forward. Let's put them under pressure. And let's see how they react to that. We get the crowd behind us. How are they going to react to it as well?
Phil, I'm going to cast your mind back a few seasons to Walsall. And we needed a win at Walsall to get into the playoffs. Got 3 goals in a ridiculously quick time. The game was pretty much over. We'd love that again on Saturday, wouldn't we?
I would be very happy to be 4 up at half time, and I went relaxed. But it's got to be, from the word go, they've got to go for them. Chesterfield could be in that funny situation where, how do we play it? Do we go, all we need is to not lose. So do we play safety first? Do we attack and try and destroy them because they think we're fragile? So we've got to catch them and take them by surprise by the way in which we really go for them. And I hope the fans, if there's a few early mistakes, don't turn on them in the way they did at Grimsby on Saturday. You've got to stick by them and really keep them going, because we've seen, if the Rochdale York game on Saturday, anything can happen in a tense game. So you just got to keep going, and things can suddenly change. So it's got to be that total focus. I got a feeling we're going to win 2-1.
Well, I think we'd all take that. So if you don't know about Rochdale York, Rochdale scored deep into injury time. There was a pitch invasion. And then basically the last kick of the match, York got a goal. They get promoted to the Football League. Even though Rochdale have got over 100 points in the National League, they have to go through the playoffs. Surely they have to look at that, I think. Let's have a look. Hi, Hannah. We need to have a whole reshuffle. Sacking Holloway isn't the answer unless the other coaching staff go as well. Gav Gunning seems to hang on each time. Clem isn't being honest with what's happening either. All this money spent this season rings alarm bells. We'll be in deep trouble come the end of the season without promotion. The fans forum was meant to be happening in 2 days' time. I take it they won't be going ahead with this. We've heard nothing, Hannah. That's all I'm going to say. Sean, hi. Thing with Holloway keeps harping on about what he achieved all those years ago. The game has massively changed since then, hasn't it? Tony says, Gus, you're right. The pressure got to Holloway. He needs to control himself, focus and courage. Spot on about Holloway controlling the players too closely. Many more comments coming in. So many of them. I'm not going to get through them all. So thank you very much indeed for sending them all in. The fans have done their bit. It's been garbage since Christmas. The football is worse now than it was with Sheridan. Anyway, that's me. That's me. We turn up Saturday, do our bit. It's up to them to actually turn up. I mean, looking from afar, Gus, you were there over Christmas. Mm-hmm. You saw a victory. Has your impression been that it's just got worse and worse watching from afar in the games every week?
Well, I don't want to take a lot of time because I know we're getting close to the finish, but I think the season divides into 3 parts. The season before Harry Smith got injured, we were in way down at that point in the way down in the chart. So I think we'd won 1 and lost 3. He got injured, and he was a catalyst for us doing better. There's nothing good about him getting injured. It was a horrible, horrible thing to happen. I wish he'd been healthy the whole season, but it forced the team to look for other ways to do things. We brought in Tafazoli, Palmer, 1 or 2 other guys right away to try to make up for it, and it actually worked. We would have been better with him, but he was the catalyst to get us moving. When Finley Monroe left on January 12th, was the second, that was the third part of the season. The period between when Harry Smith got injured and when Finley Monroe left, we were moving up. We were doing really well. Again, not because Harry got injured, but they thought, oh no, what are we going to do? We've got to do something a little differently. After Finley Monroe left, we started to slide again. So in my mind, those are the 3 parts of the season that would have been great to have him. One other very quick thought. I feel like we've really been hampered by injuries. And 2 weeks ago, Coach Holloway on a Thursday gave a talk and said, yeah, 4 guys got injured in practice this week. And I thought, in American football, different kind of tackling, obviously, most schools no longer do contact tackling drills because so many people get hurt in practice. It screws you. It makes it difficult to win your game that week when you're all getting hurt during practice. Michael Olakigbe got hurt that week because he was tackled in practice. Don't do that. Maybe this is well known, but there's got to be a way to work on tactics without getting your guys injured. Otherwise, you're just shooting yourself in the foot. So I'm not sure what your question was even, but those are a few thoughts that I had about the season, how it's progressing, and about how injuries have hurt us and how. Well,
that pretty much summed up what the question was: how have things changed since you watched. So that summed it up nicely. On the subject of injured, Gary says we need Taff on the pitch Saturday. If he wants to play and says he can, then let him. Someone needs to make Palmer angry. When he got angry in the Accrington game, he was a different beast. Fire them all up. And actually, Hannah, this is a very good point. Also, a huge thank you to everyone at SAS Travel for this season. I wholeheartedly agree with that. They are wonderful people doing a very difficult job, making sure everybody gets a seat on the bus that wants one. So fantastic, and thank you to SAS Travel. Right, quickly, let's get the scoreline prediction. Rob.
What do I believe and what do I actually think will happen? Maybe 2 different things, but what I think will happen has to go out of the window, and we will turn up and we will perform, and it will be a happy day. I say with every single bone in my body and every finger crossed that I can cross. We'll win 4-1.
Wow. By the way, 40 years not missing a Swindon Town game. Mr. Rob Hartley. Brilliant stuff. The doctor is at the door for you. He wants you to go.
He's more than a doctor, Vic, to put me down, I think.
Mark, your thoughts on Saturday?
So I'm remaining positive. I believe we're going to shade the game. It's going to be close game. It's going to be tough, but I think 2-1. 2-1's a fair result for us. We're going to be in the playoffs.
Nick?
3-1, home win, get us in the playoffs, and then we're romp home to Wembley and win at Wembley.
Well, it'd be nice to score at Wembley, to be fair, wouldn't it? The new one. Phil, yeah, I think you said 2-1 already, haven't you?
2-1, yeah. I'll stick by 2-1. It's going to be a terrible additional time. My consultant will not like my state of my heart at the end of it, but I just think that they're going to get because we know there's a good team in there. They've got to come good sometime, and this is the best time to come.
That is a very good point. We all know these are good players, don't we? They are good players.
And having watched Salford and Bromley the other night give a very poor display of football, it encouraged me for the playoffs that if Salford were not playing well, Bromley were awful. I know they're up already, but they were terrible. The playoffs are a lottery. So let's get in there, in it to win it.
Gus?
4-3. Mabete scores in the 95th minute to win.
Oh, wow. So this is aiming towards a similar to the women's game yesterday, isn't it? Get a lead and then they score one, and then it all gets a bit 23 minutes of added time. It all gets a bit, Gentlemen, thank you. It's been a very strange weekend. We've had Grimsby, and then we've had the women doing what the women did in a magnificent performance at Moneyfields and taking the league. So a very odd weekend for Swindon Town. But Chris, what a weekend beckons. If you want more Swindon Town content, of course, Falls Rushing is on at 9 o'clock. So I'm sure they've got things to say about the game on Saturday, both of them. What can you say, Chris? Fingers crossed. Let's get that win.
Fingers crossed. Yeah, that's what we need. We know what we have to do, and just hope that they turn up. Just a couple of things from me. Thank you, everybody who attended the end of season dinner on Tuesday. It was a fantastic evening, and I know I don't have to, but I will. I apologise for Ian Holloway's rant. It was uncalled for. It was to the wrong audience, and I think he let himself down. So I do apologise if anybody was offended by what he was saying. But yeah, we couldn't foresee that coming to the rate it was. But yes, I do apologise. Also,
well, nothing apologies about your part in this, because you did a magnificent job in organising it, and all the praise that you've had subsequent to that, much deserved.
I've been overwhelmed. It's been a wonderful. The comments I've had, it's been wonderful. But yeah, it was uncalled for. So Mr. Holloway, and also Junior Reds party on Thursday. There is still places available. It's a great evening for the kids. So there are some places available. Just go to our website and book there. It's free for Junior Reds members and £7.50 for siblings or non-Junior Reds members.
And it is it's a wonderful couple of hours, even though after you go home, oh, goodness me.
Let me lie in a darkened room, but no, it's a wonderful end to the season for the kids. So yeah. Thank you.
Can I just say one thing? I know people might not know this. I'm involved with the foundation, and I help out with the Swindon Robins Adult Learning Group. And we play in 2 weeks' time. If we win our games, we win the league as well. The first time ever they've won their league.
Excellent.
Yeah,
so Wednesday,
yesterday morning, before I come to Portsmouth, I went and done some games and won. So
fantastic. So when is this, Nick? And where can we see them?
Well, I think that I'll find out and I'll let you know. I think it's in Devizes at the Wilts FA's the last weekend. We got 4 games on the 24th of May. We got 3 games. I think we only need to win.
Well, we'll put that out on our socials. So
I'll let you know. They deserve it. He's a great guy.
Exactly. Exactly. Brilliant. Thanks for that, Nick. Thanks for everybody tonight. Thanks for Richard and Lanes who were on earlier. And with their triumphant win yesterday. And we will see you next week for a review of the season. And I'm going to play the video that we should have played at the beginning because I've managed to upload it. So thank you very much, everybody, and see you next week.